everybody, this is Beau Pinto here with the Just Compassion Show in Cannabis in Canada. We have a very, very special guest here today, Jody Emery. Jody, tell us a little bit about your experiences so far at Lift.
Well, I'm actually really impressed. I walked in and I noticed it's far away from the front entrance. Like every other expo, it was right there. You walked right in, but it's buried a bit in the back, but it's because it's in a gigantic space. There are so many vendors here. It's an incredible selection of old and new. And I am really excited to see this sort of industry growth. It demonstrates that this is a viable industry with many different arms and branches, and you don't even need to grow pot to be involved in the pot industry, as you can see. And I'm glad to see a lot of familiar faces. Maybe not the whole community that used to come out to these events because there are so many events to choose from, but it looks like Lift is the biggest and they've been doing this a bit, so good on them for bringing people together and educating the public. And as much as I'm the old granny of the movement saying, you don't know your history, kids, it's like, all right, but you're coming and learning now, and that's always a wonderful thing, and newcomers are always welcome, so it's awesome. I'm very pleased.
Awesome. What's one of your favorite booths so far?
I have been walking around, so I haven't, well, first of all, I can't name any names, but I'm overwhelmed by these giant machines and space-agey things, and they're like little trap doors and tubes and arms, and I'm like, what's going on with cannabis these days? It's wild, but impressive. And it makes you like check yourself and go, wow, what do I know and what is my focus? Because I don't know anything about growing, I don't know anything about testing, I don't know about aeroponics, except for the article I edited years ago in the magazine. Like, you know, there's so much here I don't know about, but that doesn't matter because there is a market for that. There are people here for that, and the diversity is what's so beautiful about it. My only issue is that everybody here should be open to letting everyone participate in this industry. Nobody should be pushing to exclude others. I mean, this demonstrates obviously there's room for everybody, and let it be like any other market.
What's on the agenda for Jody Emery in for the rest of 2017?
Well, I'm unemployed. I can't run my stores. I can't do any cannabis culture work. But today marks 1 year since we had the rally at the police chief's press conference here in Toronto to protest the Project Claudia raids that happened on the 26th last year. And it was also the anniversary of our first Toronto cannabis culture store opening out here 1 year ago. What a crazy year it was. And now, of course, all the Toronto shops are closed, and I'm facing life in prison, and like a lot of bad stuff happened in between, but a lot of really good stuff happened too. We set an example for a lot of people. We inspired many, many people all over the world, and we continue to do so. And so for that, I have no regrets. I feel good about what we did. I just have to get used to sitting back and relaxing, which is really hard for me. You know, when I got involved with Mark in 2004, he went to jail for 3 months for passing a joint. And then the DEA came up from America, and he was facing life in prison. And then he got extradited years later, and we were fighting court and going to prison and fighting for legalization and campaigning in the US. And I've been going nonstop for 13 years, and I'm kind of tired, but not really. But I'm not used to just being forced to sit back and wait and do nothing except advocate. But that's not a problem, to be honest. I think I was getting a little bit too busy with the work I was doing, and our movement and our victims of prohibition who continue to suffer, they need a spokesperson, they need an advocate, and that's who I've always been and who I should continue to be. Myself, Jody Emery, I am going to keep fighting on behalf of all the people who don't have a voice and don't have a stage and don't have a platform, all of the victims of prohibition who still lose their kids and lose their jobs and lose their right to travel, the people who have their family turn against them because they use cannabis, the people who are denied cannabis medicine and have to turn to opiates instead, all of the young adults and everyone of every age who uses alcohol because they don't have access to the safer choice of cannabis. There are so many reasons to keep fighting for this plant, to get rid of the stigma, stop the demonization, make it as normal and as accessible as coffee. That's my goal. So I want to make sure we get amnesty and a moratorium on arrests. I was rallying at City Hall yesterday. I went and held a sign and gave a letter to the mayor asking him to stop arrests.
I'm Michael Thompson, City Councillor. Nice to meet you.
Wonderful.
Hello, nice to meet you. Pleasure to meet
Jody
you.
Emery.
Jody, nice to meet you.
Take a moment to talk.
Yeah.
All right, well, this is the letter in an envelope
Okay.
here.
Thank you.
And if you'd like, I can tell you basically,
Sure.
I'm asking the mayor to ask the police to stop spending money going after dispensaries and people for cannabis. The activism continues, and while everybody else is really busy setting up everything that's going on, which is great, I'll just do my bit here, and that means together in unity, we're gonna make great strides. It's exciting.
Amazing. And you know what? As much as everything that has happened, I think it's undeniable to say that you guys have done so much for the community, and I think, based on the things that you guys have accomplished and the courage that you guys have shown, I think that your brand will be a platform in itself that will give you the voice that you need to make an even bigger change than you already have. So just keep it up, and we're so thankful to have you in this interview, so thank you so much.
Thank you for giving me the chance to talk. And yeah, you're right, we're not going anywhere. I mean, Mark spent time in U.S. prison and we survived and came back strong, so we're just on pause for now. Wait and see, it's going to be good.
Most definitely. Thank you so much, Jody. Appreciate it.